Alrighty guys, in today's video we're going to be looking at finalizing our CMY image so that when we export it we can use it for printing. But before that, let's have a quick intro first. So today's video can be found on softwaretraining.co.za. We make short and easy to watch problem solving videos, and we also have daily updates. Otherwise, back in the program here. So now with all our layers and that set up, there's a few last steps we want to do so this can actually be exported as a CMY and not a CMYK. Because if we take this process slightly wrong, what's going to end up happening is it's going to just add as a K again, even though it stays the same values. So then when you print it, it's still looking for black to make the dark colors. So let's head right into it, and then the process is rather simple, but yeah, it is quite important when we look at the final exporting versus saving. So what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to select on my K channel or K layer. I'm going to go to its channels, select the black, hit shift backspace, and do the same thing we did with the actual other one. I'm going to go back to CMY on the channel, click here, and now we've got our actual image set up without any K in it. Then what I want to do is click on our actual layers from the top main menu, and then I'm going to head down and go flatten image. You can go merge visible as well, but I'm just going to go flatten image. Now if we go back to our channels and we click on black, you will see there's no more black in our actual channel or our black channel. So we still have some nice contrast, and if I use our color picker, click on the inside of the hand, you can see over here as well we have 0K at the moment. So I like to use that just before I export or save to make sure everything is set right, so when I proof test it I know that all the values were right in my final image. Now the next thing I want to look at, and this is quite an important step, is exporting versus saving. So you might think, okay cool, let's go file, I'm going to go to export as PNG or export as. I'm just going to go PNG for now, and then let's call this one export, and then I'm just going to save this. Now the default PNG will just save like that. If you go file, export as, you can also adjust a few settings, so you can also run through this. So let's say we have JPEG. I'm going to leave this on JPEG just so we can see the difference. Even with that, you've got the option yes selected already, convert to sRGB and embedded color profile. So I'm going to swap these two around so you can also see if we do that the result we get. And then I'm going to say export, and then let's call this export. Yeah, I think I'm by the wrong place, so we'll just quickly move this to the right. Go here to printing and go samples, and then I'm going to call this one just export and then JPEG, just so we know this was the JPEG one. Click save, and then our last version which we can do, we go file, save as. Then now that we're already by the right place, I'm going to switch this. You're going to go JPEG or PNG. I'm just going to leave mine JPEG, and we call this one save as. Then I'm going to say save, leave all settings as is, and just say OK. Now if I head to the actual folder, so let's quickly open this up. I'm just going to navigate to the actual place we've exported them to, samples. Now we can see we've got here, I'll just zoom in a bit. Okay, at the moment I don't see the base export, might be here under base. Yeah, here we go, export as. So I'm just going to bring these ones up here, zoom in. So now the basic export we know is the actual PNG. We've got the JPEG and the save as. So let's go back to Photoshop and just compare these files quick. So I'm going to go file, open, then let's go quickly up one, and then we select. Okay, so let's start with the first one, which was the export. We'll open this file up, and then if we use our color picker, click on the hand here, we can see we've got a K value there, even though we had no K channel when we exported it. Now let's open the next one, the JPEG, which we exported. The JPEG, do the same thing. Now this one, remember, we removed, so it doesn't convert it to sRGB, and we embedded the profile. So color picker, click there. You will see once again, we also have a K stall. So we went through that whole process just to still have a K under our channels. Obviously at the moment it's RGB, so we won't see the K there, but if we color pick, we can see there's clearly a K. Now let's go to the one we saved as. So this one, save as, open it. Now as we swap between these, you can see nothing has changed. Everything looks exactly the same. But with the save as selected, if we go color picker, click here, you can see now there is no more K. Now the reason why I stress this topic so much, or had a sample of it, is you can be very confused. Follow the whole thing and then export your image, and your printer still wants to print the K. So it is very important that you go File, Save As, and then adjust this to JPEG or PNG or whichever other format you use, and not exporting it. So this is a very important step to get your final image so that your programs can read it up with 0K instead of converting it and adding its own custom K. But yeah, otherwise that is it on removing the K from CMY. It's a bit of a lengthy process, but the more you do it, you'll see you'll just flow through the process and easily get the final result. Obviously at any point you can refer back to these tutorial videos we made. So if you're not sure about a step, you can just go run through it and then get the final result. But yeah, otherwise that is it on removing K from CMYK. If we head here to softwaretraining.co.za, you guys will notice we've got a variety of different softwares we do cover, and you can also isolate your search on the top right. If you do not, however, find the training videos you're looking for, just simply go here, request a training video, fill in the mini form, and then we'll do our best to try and make that for you. But otherwise, thanks guys for watching, and cheers.